Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today's lesson is Shapes and Designs 2.4. Your lesson today is on page 36 through 37, A through C. If you have a chance right now to go ahead and grab your textbook, I recommend you open to these pages. They are a fascinating read. Our problems today will be in the ACE section starting on page 40. And they are 18 through 20, 38 through 40, and then 43. Okay? For some reason, 41 and 42 we are saving for a little bit later. Your learning target for this lesson is that you understand how a small error in angle can result in large changes in distance. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. This will be a very quick lesson. Alright, your notes today are going to be lesson 2.4 notes. We want to make sure we have the name, date, and crew. We also want to make sure that we have the appropriate pages, which I have put in incorrectly. They are pages 36 and 37. Sorry about that. And you will be having a very quick set of notes, just this one section. You want to put in changes in angle. Okay, and this is more or less just a fact. Even a small change in angle can result in large differences. Okay? And by differences, I mean getting off course. I have a little example here. Say we have a rocket ship, and that rocket ship wants to go to Mars. Now Mars is a very long way away. Depending upon the time of year in Earth and the time of year in Mars, Mars can be anywhere from 54.6 million kilometers away to about 400 million kilometers away. That's a very, very long distance. Now, let's say I'm launching a rocket, and that rocket wants to go to Mars. Unfortunately, I am 5 degrees off. Just 5 degrees off when I launch that rocket. Now, when it's actually on the launch pad, 5 degrees does not seem like very much. Doesn't seem like much at all. But by the time I'm about halfway there, I might be several 100,000 miles off course. And by the time I get to where I should be, I might be a million or more miles off course. All because that 5-degree difference at the beginning gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on. Think about the beam of a flashlight. When you're really close to the flashlight, that beam seems really skinny, really narrow. But as it shines out farther and farther, it gets wider and wider and wider. The same thing is true for angles. If you're aiming something, like let's say I'm aiming a bow and arrow, and I'm just a little bit off, like half a degree off, I might miss my target completely. And the farther away I am, the more those angles matter. Which brings us to the story we find on page 36 and 37. The story on page 36 and 37 concerns Amelia Earhart. Now, the important thing to look at here is that no tool will give you perfect measurements. And long distances make even small errors seem much, much bigger. It's thought that the famous aviatrix, and that's a fantastic word we don't use anymore. Aviatrix means a lady pilot. It's a female form of aviator. The famous aviatrix Amelia Earhart set off only a few degrees off course because the best tools she had was a compass, a ruler, and a really good map. Okay? And her compass might have been a few degrees off when she set off on her plane. But it's believed that even though she was only a few degrees off, her intended destination and the place where she may have crashed were over 500 miles off course, 500 miles apart. And that's because as she kept on flying, she got further and further and further and further off course. And again, before the age of GPS, before radar, before cell phones, before internet, before satellites, the best tools you had were a compass. And most pilots didn't know where they were, except if they had a compass and could land and really ask for directions. So it's not surprising when she's flying a plane that can go thousands and thousands of miles, she would have been a little off course. Unfortunately, even a little off course can get you very, very lost. Okay, that concludes our lesson today. I told you it was a short one. And we are going to have our work today on page 36 through 37, problems A through C. You are going to need a ruler for this one and a protractor. Okay, so make sure you have a ruler handy and a protractor handy. Your ACE problems today are going to be problems 18 through 20, then skip a few pages and do 38 through 40 and 43. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good luck and good work.